But let's start at the beginning. Let's look at Genesis, okay, with the temptation. And I want to bring out 3 points in this temptation and the earliest part of fall that sheds some light on the nature of depravity and our sin nature. Now, Adam and Eve were perfect. The serpent said to the woman, "You shall not surely die," after she said, hey, we cannot eat the tree of the fruit of the knowledge of good and evil. We can't eat it. We can't touch it, because in the day that we do, we will surely die. And the serpent said to the woman, "You shall not surely die." God's holding back on you. He knows that in the day you eat of it, your eyes will be open. Your children, you're blind. Okay? He knows that he makes you think that he has to make these major judgments in your life. And he's the only one that can determine good and evil in this universe. And he knows if you eat this fruit of the knowledge of good and evil, that you'll be like God, knowing good and evil for yourself. Okay, see, that's where this problem begins. You will be like God, knowing good and evil for yourself. The only problem with that is, I'm sorry to tell you, you ain't God. You're not God. You're not God. Now you were created in God's image, but that image is only an image, okay? It's just the mirror image of God, but it is not the thing itself. So there are limitations to your abilities. And one of the things is that you can't determine good and evil in this universe for yourself. The first problem that comes with our depravity is the problem of identity deception. Okay, what do I mean by identity deception? What I mean is, we really think that the way we see things is the way it really is. Okay? Tell the truth. Shame the devil. Okay? You really think that the way you see things, the way you see a circumstance, is the way it really is. Okay? But the reality, one wise woman once put it like this: we don't see things the way they are. We see things the way we are. Okay? We don't see things the way they are. We see things the way we are. Okay? And we make judgments on the world. And we have the nerve and the audacity to believe that everybody should think about this particular situation just like we do. Okay, tell the truth. Okay? And if they don't see it like we see it, they're dumb. Not you, Greg. See, not y'all good people. You tell the truth. You're in a situation. You see a thing a certain way. Okay? You see clothes on the floor. Clothes don't belong on the floor. Okay? Who said clothes don't belong on the floor? Huh? You said clothes don't belong on the floor. Okay? Show me a scripture. A Bible scripture. Okay? That says, "Thou shalt not put thine socks in the middle of the floor, nor thy t-shirt, nor thy pants." Okay, show it to me in scripture. Okay, no, that's something that you see right and wrong. You have just made yourself like God, knowing that which is good and evil. Okay, that's what's going on. So we have the problem of identity deception is somewhere in our heart. We know we're not God. We know we can't make it rain. Okay, we know that there are limitations. But in our perspective in life, once we get something in our head, tell the truth, okay, we think that thing is right. Think that thing is right, okay? So that came from the fall. When they ate of that fruit, their eyes were opened, and now we all think we're running this thing down here, and especially in our sphere of influence, okay? See, that's where arrogance comes from. You see, arrogance is our pride projected onto somebody else in a real life situation. See, it's one thing to be proud, but when we project our pride onto somebody else, that's arrogance. That's the shift from pride to arrogance. When we inject our thoughts and our ways onto other people, we have just become sovereigns over them, and they reject us. They reject our sovereignty. Okay? Have you noticed not many people do what you tell them to do? That's because they reject your sovereignty. Okay? And if you don't like your sovereignty rejected, okay, there's going to be trouble. Relational trouble. I don't care if it's your husband, your kids, your wife, your co-worker, there's going to be trouble. Your sister, your cousins, your auntie and them. It's going to be trouble. Now, let's look at verse 6. When the woman saw that the tree was good for food, pleasant to the eyes, desirable to make one wise, she took of the fruit, ate it, gave it to her husband with her, that he ate. Verse 7. And the eyes of both of them were opened. And what was the first thing that they saw? They saw themselves. The first thing they saw was themselves. Let me suggest to you that this is original sin. Okay? This is the original sin. This is the manifestation of original sin. Is first seeing yourself in every situation. You have to learn how not to see yourself first in every situation, okay? She didn't notice Adam was naked. She already knew he was naked. He already knew she was naked. This is the first time they looked down and saw themselves, that they were naked, okay? Say naked. It's just fun. Okay? See, what is nakedness? It means you don't have something. Nakedness means that you are without. You are in a situation of lack. They lacked clothes. They were vulnerable. Okay? And we are always in a state in this fallen world of vulnerability. Okay? And let me put it like this. Sonya said, you gotta break it down. Break it down for me. Vulnerability. I don't like that word, vulnerability. We all want stuff. Okay, is that easy? We all want stuff. Okay, all the time. How many people want stuff? How many people, when you get what you want something else? We are in a constant state of vulnerability. We are in a constant state of want, of desire, okay? Now listen, the first thing when they first saw themselves, okay, that was the problem of selfishness, the original sin. So now we had first the problem of identity deception. Secondly, we had the problem of selfishness, okay? And thirdly, we have the problem of vulnerability, lack, want, desire. Use whatever words you want to place into that. Now, how you solve for your nakedness, how you solve for your vulnerability, how you solve for your wants and desires determine how sin manifests itself in your daily life. Okay? Every sin occurs because of a vulnerability. You look down and you see no clothes. Let me give you some examples of no clothes. Okay? Somebody questions your status. You may question your own status. So say I walk up to you, okay, and I don't even acknowledge that you're there, and I just walk right past you. And I might give you a little sneer or something. Look at you like, psh, psh, you ain't, psh. Okay? And how does that affect you? It affects you negatively. They just created a nakedness within you, a vulnerability. Okay? In your mind, you have status. In your mind, you're important. You're certainly the most important person to you. Okay? And how come that person didn't acknowledge that? Okay? So we spend a lot of our lives trying to clothe ourselves in the arena of status. We'll stack letters behind our names. Okay? You see, get degrees is what I'm talking about. Okay? When two men get together, okay, the first thing one brother say to the other brother after they introduce themselves is, what do you do? That's a status question. What he really is asking you is, this is what our men are. They say, hey, I want to know who I'm dealing with. Am I dealing with somebody that's my equal? Am I dealing with somebody who's my better? Or am I dealing with somebody with who I am better than? Okay? And it's a status thing. Okay? That's because we feel naked. Okay? And we're trying to clothe ourselves through status. You see, when you get hungry and you got a taste for something, okay, you are naked in that area and you are looking to clothe yourself with a burger. Okay? You may be hungry or lust sexually. You're saying, hey, I am lacking this. I'm trying to say this without sounding nasty. You see, and you feel vulnerable because you have a desire that has arose up inside of you, okay? And you want to clothe yourself sexually, okay? And if you can't get it legitimately, you may go after it illegitimately, okay? That's another thing, competition. Okay? I want to be the best. And we compete with one another. Everywhere we're competing all over the place. I said something, you disagree. You say something, I disagree. Okay? And I'm spending the next hour trying to explain my point of view to you so that you can agree with me because we're in a competition. Okay? We were naked. We need the people to know that we're a winner. We have necessities, wants, and we will lie and steal in order to get clothes on, whatever those clothes may be. You see, I can look and I can see that you have something that I want, okay, and I become jealous of you. Because I perceive that you have more than me. Maybe your car is better than mine. Maybe your house is better than mine. And I get jealous because I want what you have. Okay? That means that I'm naked, I don't have it, and I'll do anything in order to get it. I'll work 16 hours a day to cover my nakedness, to get not just what I want, but to get what somebody else has. covering nakedness, okay? You know, hey, you may snatch my clothes off of me because you wanted what I have. And now you have just left me naked, so now I want payback, revenge. I'm mad. Y'all didn't get that. Y'all didn't get that. Y'all didn't get the James Brown reference. Okay, see, yeah. And so now you bash somebody over their head. You even want to kill somebody because they took something from you. And it doesn't have to be a lot. They can take your lane on the road. They didn't signal. They just jumped right over in your lane, in your space. Road rage, let it begin. Beep, beep, are you crazy? Yeah. You know, fingers start flying. You've seen it. I ain't gonna say which ones, but you know, hey, you know, listen, it all stems, our sin action comes from a sense of nakedness.